It's 11:30 at night. You finally lift your eyes from the screen after 3 straight hours of scrolling, focused but aimless. The evening is gone. The dishes are still in the sink. That night routine you swore you'd start, still untouched. And the worst part? The emptiness. If you go to bed like this, it feels like failure. Oh no, I just scrolled again. It happens so many times. You feel drained. Sometimes you don't even remember how the past hour slipped away. You watched 100 reels, but can't recall even 5 of them. And then you turn on yourself, calling yourself the worst names, blaming yourself with the harshest words, night after night, in the same empty silence. But be gentle with yourself, because here's the truth. This was never just your weakness. That wasted hour was set up by design. Every platform, every piece of content is competing for your attention. Every algorithm is tuned to keep you there. If scrolling feels easy, almost impossible to resist, it's because it was built that way. On the surface it looks entertaining, but underneath it leaves you numb, drained, and hollow. So the question now is, how do you actually stop? Because scrolling isn't just something you choose to do, it's a loop you fall into. Boredom hits. You scroll. A task feels too hard. You scroll. You try to read for 5 minutes and can't focus. You scroll. And in those moments, you're caught between 2 forces pulling at you. On the outside, platforms and creators and algorithms are all designed to keep you hooked because your attention is currency. On the inside, your own brain is wired to chase novelty and stimulation, reacting instantly every time you feel restless. Together, they trap you in the loop. That's why all the quick fixes, those top 10 ways to use less social media lists, don't really change anything. When a habit is already turned into a loop, and when the outside world is constantly feeding that loop, then shortcuts won't be enough to change how you react to temptation. 10 tips, 20 tips. They sound nice, but they won't pull you out overnight. This bad scrolling habit has been wired into you for too long to be erased by something shallow and short-lived. So today, I'm not here to hand you another shallow list of hacks. What I want to share are the real practices that helped me break free. Lessons I learned the hard way, after wasting countless hours scrolling from the moment I woke up until the moment I fell asleep. I know what that cycle feels like, and I know what it takes to break it. These aren't flashy tricks, they're deeper shifts, and if you stay with me, you'll see why they actually work. Don't skip this video, because if you do, 15 minutes later, you'll still be drifting in the infinite stream, and you won't even remember what you just consumed. But if you stay with me until the end, you'll walk away with something different, a clear path to stop scrolling. Let's get started. Part 1. Turn delay into power. Like I said earlier, throughout this video, I'll treat scrolling as exactly what it is, a bad habit loop. Some people call it a dopamine addiction. Some say it's just a brain reaction. All of those are partly true. But for me, calling it a habit makes it much clearer. Because once you see it as a habit, you instantly have a goal. Break the bad habit. And that feels much simpler, much more possible, than fighting something invisible like dopamine. The rule is simple. Whenever the urge to scroll shows up, don't react right away. Pause. Give it 10 minutes. Set a timer if you need to. This wasn't the first time I mentioned this on my channel. It sounds almost silly, right? Who sits there staring at a timer for 10 minutes instead of just checking their phone? But hear me out. When you feel that sudden urge to scroll, you're in a state of instant reaction. You're bored, or uncomfortable, or stuck on a hard task. Your brain screams, "Quick, escape! Quick, open something fun." That's the exact moment you need to stop. I would open my clock app, set a 10-minute countdown, and do nothing but sit there. And people ask me, isn't that a waste of time? Why throw away 10 minutes? But here's the truth. You're not wasting 10 minutes. You're saving the 30, 60, maybe 90 minutes you would have lost if you gave in. Tell me honestly, when was the last time you opened TikTok just for 10 minutes and actually closed it after 10 minutes? It almost never happens. That pause is powerful for 2 reasons. First, it slows you down. Instead of running at the speed of your thumb, you create a break in the loop. Second, it makes you notice. You catch yourself thinking, "Oh, I'm craving the scroll right now." That awareness alone is huge, because most of the time we scroll without even realizing we're doing it. At first, you'll be shocked by how many times a day you feel that urge. If you don't believe me, Just only check your phone's app open statistics. It's dozens, maybe even hundreds of times. But if you stick with the 10-minute pause, something amazing happens. The number goes down. Slowly, the cravings lose their power. The loop starts to weaken. Every pause is like lifting a weight at the gym. The first reps feel heavy, but over time, your brain adapts. You're not killing the habit in one strike. You're training yourself out of it, one pause at a time. So remember this. Don't fight scrolling with just 5 minutes more. Fight it by delaying. 10 minutes of waiting may feel small, but done again and again, it's the practice that turns the urge into something you can control. Part 2. Break the loop where it lives. When you build a good habit, the trick is to make it easy. You create an environment where the habit almost happens by itself, like putting a book on your desk so you'll read it, or laying out your gym clothes so you'll work out. But the opposite is true for bad habits. If you want to break them, you have to remove the environment that makes them easy. Scrolling isn't random. It happens in the same places, with the same triggers, again and again. If you don't see the pattern, you'll keep falling into the trap. The less friction there is, the more likely you'll slip into the loop. So your job is to notice where your loops live. And environment doesn't just mean physical space. It comes in many forms. Physical places. Maybe it's your bed, maybe it's your sofa. Those comfortable spots where your body relaxes and your guard drops. For me, lying in bed with my phone was the perfect setup to scroll for hours. The simplest fix? Change the environment. If you catch yourself doing it, stand up, move, even do a silly squat. Anything that breaks the link between that place and the scroll. Digital shortcuts. Sometimes the trap is on your screen. Think about it. Have you ever opened your laptop to work, and the first thing you see on your browser is a shortcut to YouTube or TikTok? With one click, you're gone. The same goes for apps placed right in reach on your phone's home screen. If they're easy to touch, you will touch them. Rearrange them. Hide them behind folders. Make scrolling less convenient. Empty time. Loops also live in your schedule. Those moments of waiting, those blank spaces in your day, almost beg to be filled with a quick scroll. And once you start, you know how it ends. 30 minutes disappear. The way out isn't to fill your schedule with hardcore productivity. It's enough to put small, simple alternatives in place. Take a short walk, write a few notes, stretch. Anything that feels easier than scrolling, but healthier for your mind. Once you start mapping these environments, you'll see the pattern. And once you see it, you can disrupt it. That's how you take back control, not by relying on willpower in the heat of the moment, but by making the loop harder to start in the first place. The key is not to wait until the habit starts. By then, you've already lost. The goal is to block it before it triggers, by changing the environment, adding friction, or simply deciding that certain spaces are phone-free zones. Every time you remove one of those easy environments, you make the habit harder to start. Each time you notice and interrupt the loop, you take back a piece of control. So here's your task. Spot the places where scrolling owns you. Write them down. Once you know where the loop lives, you can finally break it. Part 3. Brain dump instead of scroll dump. If scrolling is a habit loop, then brain dump is the habit you can build in its place. Think about it. Every loop has the same pattern. Cue, craving, response, reward. You feel bored or restless. Cue. You crave stimulation, craving. Your usual response is to grab your phone and start scrolling. The reward is that quick dopamine hit, but it fades fast, leaving you emptier than before. What if, instead of letting the loop end in scrolling, you replace the response? The moment you catch yourself reaching for your phone, grab a notebook or open a blank note instead. Do a brain dump. Write down whatever is running through your head. No filter, no order, just spill it. That pause is powerful for 2 reasons. First, writing slows you down. Instead of racing at the speed of your thumb, you shift into the pace of your pen. That alone breaks the cycle of instant stimulation. Second, it reconnects you with yourself. Scrolling throws you into everyone else's world. Writing pulls you back into your own. Think about it. While you scroll, your mind is constantly reacting, laughing at one reel, shocked at the next, bored by the one after that. But you're not actually creating or processing. A brain dump flips that. Suddenly, you're not a passive consumer anymore. You're active again, expressing what's on your mind. Now, I know what you might be thinking, But I don't like writing. It feels awkward. I never know what to put on the page. That's normal. The first time you try, it will feel strange, even uncomfortable, but give yourself permission to write badly. One line is enough. One messy thought is enough. Once you get past the initial resistance, it can feel surprisingly refreshing, almost like your brain just exhaled. And if writing really isn't for you, there's another option. Speak it out loud. Record a voice memo. Say whatever comes up. The point isn't how you do it, it's that you're getting the noise out of your head so you can finally hear your own voice again. Over time, your brain learns a new pattern. Cue, boredom, craving, stimulation, response, writing. Reward, clarity, relief, a sense of control. That's a real loop, a healthier loop that you built for yourself. So the next time you feel the pull to dump your energy into the endless scroll, don't. Dump it on paper instead. Part 4. Guard your most precious currency. There's one truth I need you to remember. Your energy and your time are the most valuable currencies you have. More valuable than money. Because no matter how rich or poor you are, these two things are limited, and once they're gone, you don't get them back. That's why endless scrolling is so dangerous. It doesn't just steal your minutes, it drains the energy you could have spent on yourself. It eats the focus you could have used to build something, learn something, or even just rest in a way that restores you. Every time you give your attention away to the feed, you're making a trade. You're handing over your most precious resources in exchange for a burst of noise that leaves you emptier than before. And here's the part that hurts. All that time and energy you've been giving away, they could have been invested in you, in your health, in your relationships, in your goals. Let me put it this way. If a stranger from some faraway place, someone who doesn't even know you, came up and said, "Give me your money. I want it just because I want it," would you hand it over? Of course not. You'd protect it because you need that money for yourself, for the people you love, for the things that matter. So why do you so freely give away something even more valuable, your energy and your time? This step is about selfishness, the good kind. Be selfish with your attention. Guard it like it's gold, because it is. Before you open an app, ask yourself, is this really worth the next 30 minutes of my life? For me, it helped to think in numbers. If I spent 2 hours scrolling at night, that was 2 hours I could have used writing a script for this channel. 2 hours I could have slept. 2 hours I could have put toward my future instead of wasting it in someone else's. Framing it this way made the trade impossible to ignore. You don't need to fill that time with massive goals or hardcore productivity. Sometimes protecting your energy just means choosing something better, even if it's simple. Taking a walk, stretching, talking to a friend, or just sitting quietly with yourself. Anything is better than handing over your hours for free. So remember this. Every time you scroll, you're spending your most valuable currency. Don't waste it. Spend it where it counts. On yourself, your growth, your future. Part 5. Build your mental strength rep by rep. Everything I've shared so far, these are ways to stop the loop at the moment. But there's one last step I want to give you, and this one is different. It's not about what you do right now, it's about what you keep doing over the long run. Because if you want to truly break free, you need to train your brain for lasting strength. Scrolling feels irresistible because your brain is overstimulated. You've trained it, without meaning to crave quick hits of novelty every few seconds. That's why books feel boring, why focused work feels heavy, why silence feels unbearable. Your brain is like a muscle that has only ever practiced lifting feather-light weights. The moment you give it something heavier, it shakes and gives up. So the way forward isn't just cutting out scrolling, it's retraining your brain to handle more, to focus longer, to find joy in slower, deeper rewards. Just like in the gym, you don't start with the heaviest weight. You start small, and you build. For me, this meant choosing practices that felt almost too simple at first. Reading just one page of a book instead of aiming for a whole chapter. Sitting with meditation for 3 minutes, not 30. Picking one small task and staying with it until it was done, no matter how uncomfortable it felt. These small reps mattered. Each one stretched my attention just a little further. Over time, the same way your muscles grow stronger under resistance, your brain adapts. Boredom becomes less scary, focus becomes easier to enter, and silence stops feeling empty. It starts to feel like rest. The science backs this up. Dopamine isn't just about chasing stimulation. It's also about learning to enjoy effort, to savor progress that builds slowly. When you train your brain with patience, you teach it to crave the right kind of rewards, the ones that actually grow you instead of drain you. So think of this step as building a mental gym. Every time you resist the urge to scroll, every time you choose a slower, harder activity, you're adding a rep. And with enough reps, your brain changes. Scrolling might feel powerful now, but it's nothing compared to the strength you can build inside yourself. Train your brain like a muscle, because the stronger it gets, the freer you become. You already have all the advice you need. What matters now is simple: focus, and don't let your attention drift away. The most important thing isn't what you heard in this video, it's what you do after it ends. If you log off YouTube and actually practice these habits, in just 2 weeks you'll notice the difference. More focus, more calm, more happiness. That's it. Maybe what I've said sounds scattered, maybe it feels like a lot of small pieces, but if I had to put everything into just one sentence, it would be this: stop feeding the loop of bad habits and you'll take back your life. Because your life matters more than any feed, any platform, any stranger on the internet. Your energy, your time, they're yours. Don't waste them. Thanks for watching. If this helped you, hit subscribe so you don't lose the next step on your journey.